Welcome everyone to another episode of Jurassic Palms 1998. And today, as you can clearly tell, with the Wetlands DLC stuff, including the 4 dinosaurs. We will have all 4 dinosaurs, well, technically 3, because Dinosaur is a free addition to the game, into today's build. And we are building the Miami Glades, as I call them. This is obviously a nod to the Everglades, which right away, before we start into the build, you'll see me do some TerraPaint in the background now. I'm just gonna go to the name because I'm gonna refer to it as the Glades in the real-time part, which is technically wrong because these are swamps, I'm aware of that, but I was looking into where the name Everglades come from and that they were also originally called the Florida Glades and then Florida Everglades and Everglades Swamps and like many names, but again, one of these times where like the, emperors, I should say, rather than the Americans, but the emperors from Europe, at the end of the day decided for the name. But there are some really cool names as to the original people living there that did call them the grassy waters, just as a thing. And I found all these names very nice. However, the problem is that these things don't really click well on YouTube. So I had some really cool ideas to go for some very fancy kind of indigo name creations of an old Indian, wording, for like Miami swamps or something like that. But I ended up doing this fairly simple as the Miami Glades, just as a bit of an idea. And just to give you an idea, the grassy water in the Seminole or Seminole, I don't know how exactly you call them, called this Pahokee, which was the grassy water. Just as a bit of trivia to where I was getting into and doing some research also for, the stuff I'm building. But I can tell you all of that because as you can see, I'm doing some stuff in the background here. And I came up with a wonderful bridge over here. As it turns out, and you knew that already, you can build nice bridges in the game by using the collision, which unfortunately only works for the in-game tours, just as a truck tour, gyrosphere, and all the kind of tours that do actually drive technically on the ground. Collision works as terrain, which is pretty cool, and so it gives you the chance to create a wonderful, wonderful bridge, which was the chance for me to bring the Jurassic tour back to the start of the park and at the same time have a nice inlet for our swamps over here, so making it fairly realistic to why all that water would be there technically, if it would have already been here from the beginning or if it has been done for the park itself, it doesn't really matter. But I like that little bit of realism as having that wonderful inlet. It's almost like a little dam over here, but I ended up having this bridge as a bit of a supported bridge by concrete pieces to make sure that the animals living in the swamp cannot get out of the one, which in this specific case is the Irritator and the Ostroraptor living on this side of the swamps. They do have 2 sides, as you can guess. I wish I had the chance to kind of combine those 2 with each other, but that also again doesn't work because we don't really have a bridge in the game. I would have loved to talk about the update and the DLC telling you how great the bridges were if we had any. No, but it's just kidding, okay? Maybe we take these couple of moments because that's gonna be potentially my only video today. So we shall talk about the DLC, shan't we? I mean, making like a dedicated DLC video doesn't really make any sense. You Jurassic fans, there are not that many on my channel, and it seems like you don't really enjoy these overview videos of mine anyways, so I decided to put that all into today's episode because that's something you guys do like. As I always say, by the way, build your fences as modules, which is what we're doing in the background. And may I take this moment while we do what I find is a pretty cool fence idea. I'm gonna put this in the workshop as well for you guys so you can use it yourself if you want to. It's kind of a mixture of a modern and a classic Jurassic fence using some of the new pieces. Which brings me then to the DLC. I think what many people, especially the Jurassic World Evolution players out there, need to understand is this DLC is the segue into the new era. It is a new era for the Jurassic game. You can make yourself prepared or prepare yourself for the fact that you will eventually get every second pack for a while now is going to receive lesser dinosaurs, but therefore with a great new theme, or in the future maybe even great new features. So if we refer to Planet Zoo, which seemingly is the best performing game of Frontier and also factually is the best performing game of Frontier, they will kind of try to get into that formula as best as they can. I have to admit, for me personally, it is the best formula of all Planet games. It's, or like Jurassic Planet, whatever CMS games that Frontier does. They are so well curated, and you get some really cool animal packs. That is one thing you got, which is mostly more animals than you used to. So more than 5, that would be for our case. So that could very well be the next thing, the next DLC could very well be an animal pack of, let's say, 8 species or 8 family units, or maybe 7 family units plus a hybrid or whatever. I'm just saying, because in Planet Zoo, we always used to having 7 animals plus an exhibit animal, if you will. So that is pretty cool. And then you always had like 4 or 3 animals plus a scenery pack, which is exactly what we're having at hand. And do I find this scenery pack great? Oh boy, yes I do. Because Frontier has learned from all their years in the Planet games to create sets that have a very distinct and unique look, and offers people with, I don't want to say lesser creativity, but more casual people who don't want to spend hours and hours creating a individual building, gives them the chance to build a very specific theme if they want to very quickly. In our case, the kind of rundown swamp area, which fits super nice to these kind of swampy outposts and stuff. It immediately remembered me on the game Rust when they first introduced their swampy outposts. It kind of really has that feel. But it works super well for that one with all the pieces. But they also learned to make the individual pieces generic enough to give it the chance to also create other things with it. And I didn't went too far with the build today, but I tried to do a bit more modern approach on these things. I don't want to make this super rundown. The only thing is that I wanted to make my walls and fences look a little bit more weathered, a little bit more rundown because of all the water that has been involved. And by the way, this is a super quick cut because, it's going to be boring for you to put all the fences around, and that's taken me way too long. So I made like a super quick speed build over here to just give you an idea how much of a process that is to put all the fences individually down. Now, I do like these scenery pieces. I am a big fan of them. I have this against countless DLCs in Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster to judge, and therefore I'm saying this is a very good one. It's not a perfect one. A couple of caveats here and there. I think it could be a couple more individual pieces for like the wood specifically that are not on the grid. There are too many grid pieces in my opinion. Would have been lovely to get a couple more poles and planks individually. We have a lot of walls and kind of planks already tied together, but it's not the way that we have individual kind of planks and stuff. Not that many. Would have loved to see more, but that's just nuances. Hopefully they improve in the future. But the rest I am a big fan of. Like really great pieces, great additions to the game, great signs, great props. Like really, really good one. I really do like that, and I'd love to see in the future also additions on the facilities with the DLCs. That would be cool indeed. Now, as far as the animals go, you guys know I am not as much as a dino nerd as other people are, so I don't want to claim that for me anyways. I have a hard time going too much into it because, like, realistically, and maybe that's my personal kind of issue of digging too deep into science and stuff always. My personal problem with that is like people starting discussions over accuracy of animals where we know shit about them, to be frankly honest. Like it's, we can talk about certain aspects, but as we all really don't know how they looked, I'm fully fine with going with a great looking animal anyways and just not worrying too much about the certain, I don't know, height or whatever, because all we have is guessing anyways, and this is a game. As much as it goes to the movie accuracy, I'm fine with that. But as we got a couple new animals that haven't made an appearance in the movies, anyways, I'm here for that. So I'm liking them. I did not need that little one. The name I can't even pronounce. The hypopipilalis. I'm sorry. I'm not even meant to pronounce that correctly, because it's not like. It didn't really spark something in me. I am fully aware that many people have already talked about that. So the Hypsilophodon, I guess it is cute, super cute. But would I need that in the game as of now? I don't think I do. And many people also thought or talked about that the Dinosaur would have been a perfect fit for this pack, yet they didn't. because it already had been a DLC animal in the first, like a second game, so people don't want to pay for that again. So it's totally great of Frontier to give it us for free, but maybe that was a slot in the pack. However, it could also very well be, just as in Planet Zoo, by the way, the first pack we got in Planet Zoo back in the day was the Arctic pack, which, opposed to all the other packs that followed, only had 4 animals in it rather than 5. And it also had a relatively boiled down scenery pack, what was the Arctic pack, which had a lot of similarity to already in-game existing ones. So it feels pretty similar, because the time frame between the release of the game and the first DLC is relatively short, and it just is a curated DLC. But having all that in mind, I still believe it is a very nice DLC, considering also the price point is even lower than the latest Planet Coaster 2 DLCs, and you know how that went. So I think it's super fair price for the quality DLC you get. Now, quickly going back, while you see me building a boat, also inspired by the Everglades, obviously, you'll get that also as a blueprint. I'm gonna give you this all. And I used the trick again to use benches in here to make it appear as if people were actually sitting there. Potentially that was on the thumbnail anyway, so you know. But I am super happy with that DLC as what it is for now. Would have loved to see a crocodilian in there? Absolutely, my friends, but I'm hoping they're going into kind of reptilian, crocodilian kind of focused DLC totally in the future. So I'm not like too worried at this point, simply because the limitation of what goes into a 5, 4, 3 animal pack, you know, alongside scenery pieces. But you gotta let me know in the comments down below. Especially, I'm very curious, like, you can all comment, obviously, but I'm very curious specifically for the Jurassic World Evolution people who have followed me since this game, or since the first game, or since the second game, or it doesn't matter, but like for the content, for the typical kind of Jurassic content. I would love to hear your opinion on this, on a pack like that, because that was the first time ever you guys treated with a new scenery pack. And is it actually enlarging your game? Is it giving you that new enrichment you needed? What does it feel like? Or is that something you could have easily just kind of ignored and would have loved to have 2 more species, family units, I should say. So I don't know, but let me definitely know. Last thing I want to say is, just for me personally, in comparison to all the DLCs in the previous game, I think, let alone this DLC, is already worth more than all of the other DLCs, simply because of the amount of stuff you have in there compared to the price tag, simply because before it was just like 5 animals, full stop, not even a family unit, not even juveniles, not even scenery pieces whatsoever, not even blueprints, you know. I think for a game, that is just better as it is. But you can see we've built quite a lot of things. I have cut out quite a lot because, you know, it took longer again to build than I expected, as always, which is why you only have that one video today. I'm still very proud of it. I think it's having a very nice spot in our park. And the boats really add that little bit of detail to our area over here. I do take also a little bit of a trick, having the Austroraptor and the Irritator in one habitat coexisting, which they obviously couldn't. But, you know, I went with a bit of creative freedom here. I may actually separate those 2 areas of them in the future with the fence and having a separate gate for our boats to go through. But yeah, anyways, you gotta be brave to go on the boats tour. I had a bit of a hard time finding the right pieces, but I'm quite happy with the boats version at the end. I didn't want to do that fully shabby boat look. It really is that crashdown look of it. But I wanted to have like a boat that appears as if it would work, but still has seen better days, you know, has already seen better days, definitely. I'm just very happy with the outcome. Honestly, it's been a very big challenge at the end of the day, but it also was a lot of fun doing this for you guys, using all these new pieces together with the old pieces, seeing what you can do with it. Just, yeah, that's the moment I deserve my favorite song of my playlist for this specific project. But it's also the time to hand you over in the capable hands, having a closer look with all the animals and the full build in-game. So the capable hands of Real-Time Rudi is going to take over now, so enjoy that one. Okay, now let's have a look at the finished glade area here. So the Miami Glades, as they call them, you know, featuring 4 different dinosaurs. We do have the Dinosaurus here on the right hand side, as you can see in that one. It is together with the little one, which I have a hard time finding, to be honest. Maybe we can spot it, maybe we don't. It is somewhere in here, like they do live in here happily together. There we have them, look at them. You know, there we have them roaming around happily ever after here in that habitat together with the Dinosaurs. But the more meat-eaty, you know, corner of things is on the other hand side. This is where the Irritator, we have it over here, is living together with the Raptors, the new ones. Oops, I hate the fact that I'm always like jumping over in the wrong, into the wrong kind of rotation. I don't know, it's like Q and E should not be rotation, and then F and what is that? R can make raise up and down. It doesn't make any sense, to be honest. But yeah, so they all live together. We've got these wonderful boats over here, as you can see, these kind of swamp boats, heavily inspired, obviously, by the Everglade boats. I just kind of tried to make a mixed version of it that kind of fits the style we have going on over here. And then we also have the Ostroraptors in here. Oh, look at them actually having a little go here in that whirlpool kind of area. Like, it's not the perfect area, as you can see. I would need to smooth that out, but the problem is, as soon as I go and try to smooth that out over here, I do lose that kind of really cool ripple effect here in the water. And honestly, at the end of the day, I'm going for that look, especially from over here. That looks really cool with the water feature going on here. It is a bit of a, you know, painful thing to do because it's not really realistic, you know, the water coming from over here. And, you know, meanwhile, I had that realistic idea that the whole kind of lagoon or the glades are filled by that inlet over here, similar to what we've done with the actual lagoons, and then just kind of goes in with the wonderful tour that comes over. I'm gonna get like a very nice shot here in a second. To be honest, like this shot over here might end up being the thumbnail. I'm really having a hard time. I've got some really cool shots as well from the Dinosaurs as well, but like this area over here, obviously with that bridge of the tour passing over, is so freaking cool. You know, we can also jump in and have that look. Like it's really damn cool having that kind of swamp area over here, and or glade area, I should say. Like in this specific biome, it's more like a glade area anyways, and not like swamp. It's a bit of a pity, but I think it just kind of does the job the way it is. At least I haven't found any mist to be in here or so, but you can really tell like how cool that looks. I'm zooming out a little. If the LODs would be even better, that would be so cool. But yeah, look at just the view inside of it. I think that looks really damn cool, with like our boat station here to the left, as I've quickly talked about in the time lapse. It's been a bit of a tricky thing to do, but I'm really happy with how it all turned out to be looking now. You know, this being kind of the idea of that inlet here. But as I was saying, it just kind of destroys the idea of the realism aspect, simply because down here, just like it doesn't make sense that the water is dripping down. It would technically need to drip down in a hole, you know, exactly the opposite way around. But that just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I tested that like while doing the terraforming at the beginning, but yeah, again, it ended up being a bit of a tricky thing to do. But yeah, I mean, just look at that. It looks so cool. I love this kind of new idea with the swarms, or in our case, the glades. And I don't even know if you call them like blankly glades. I don't know. Let's go back into the game actually. So hello, hold on, wait, okay, there you go. I've got some weird issues with the cursor going on following this update. I'm not sure if that's just my new mouse I got, or if that is really a thing. A bit of a painful thing. Anyways, we are here in Sandbox. Obviously, these two dinosaurs get along very nicely. I do not know if they would get along as well in IL. I mean, we do have the fact that, you know, Rexy can go with the Raptors, but I'm not sure if that goes for those two. I assume not, because the size and power difference definitely is not enough to keep them away from each other, I guess. But yeah, for the idea here, I think like they would nicely live together. I mean, if you click on them, they basically, you know, they share with actually they don't, as you can see. Cohabitation goes with the big ones actually, but it doesn't work with those. Again, we're in Sandbox, and I just completely went nuts over here until, you know, I mean, scientifically accurate, you could say they don't even met each other time-wise, so whatever, we can genetically engineer them in a way to get along, I guess. So it doesn't really matter what you do. But no, as you can tell, I'm super happy with the outcome. Let's see if there's there's a truck coming over here. It's just waiting for whatever you're waiting. Ah, dang it. I thought I'm gonna have a good go at a nice shot over here. So you're gonna, this one, by the way, this Rennkamel is just roaming around the park since the beginning of my build. And I was like, okay, let's keep that one as a bit of an Easter egg here. I found that very funny though, so I left it. Let's see if we can get a better moment even here of a shot with people watching, because I like that boat area here quite a lot. I really am a big fan of this one. Simply like the whole idea of the whole area was planned from that moment on. I think it's really cool. Let's see if we can catch someone from inside the car, like having the face in the view. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, it just kind of looks cool to have that like truck in the foreground, you know, and have like the boat, how it's actually brought into the area. We've got that custom kind of thrill ride, I would say. You know, it's definitely going to be a thrill ride if you do go on it, or just have the balls to to really go into a habitat with those kind of animals. I mean, not sure if you do, but I mean, people jump on these boats into the glades with like hundreds of alligators and stuff. It's like not like people, you know, it's not so far-fetched. We all really don't know behavior-wise how these animals would really be like. I mean, we got kind of ideas, you know. Also, I like the fact that they have somewhat of a croc behavior in a way by just like resting the whole time in the water, just idling around a little. Just really gives me the croc vibes, you know. Just really gives me that idea of crocs chilling there in the water and just waiting for a little attack here. Also, kind of underwater attack is something like a semi-water, is that what you would call it? Semi-water attacks, what the game would need to offer. Anyways, attacks in the water would be cool. So obviously we have underwater attacks of the lagoon animals, but not like semi-lagoon. You know what I mean. So we've got some Osoraptors roaming around, as I said. I'm not sure what the others are, by the way. Just seeing that one is kind of nice, but let's see what the others are. We want to see some patterns and stuff. Oops, that was the wrong button. So there it is. Look, have a look. Ooh, look at you. It's like very similar to the other one. They're both going to have like a little... Oh gosh, I love all these animations, by the way. Also, we have to check the Dinosaurs in a bit, because they also have some gorgeous animations going on there. Oh, look at that. Just and again, my hard drive was running full, but there's that little animation of it falling into the pond and then, you know, goes around and there it catches it again. And yeah, loving it. Obviously, if you look at it for too often, it may become a little bit repetitive, but it's also kind of cool that they have like a random value of it then going for some other catches, or sometimes it just goes for one. So that's kind of cool. Let's see where the other one is. There was like one more over here, and it's gone again, and it's gone. There, oh, there it is. Oh my god, so well hidden here in that little reed area. Oh my god, look at you. You're almost looking like the ground. Ooh, with that eyes, you know. Oh, that's so cool. Look at you. You got a female, right? I know that's the male one. So, hoping for some babies also eventually. There are some nesting areas in here. So that is the... Oh, look at that. They are ready. Leaves nest in 3.5 minutes. So we're gonna speed forward and we have a look at them leaving. But first of all, let's move over to the Dinosaurs. There we have them. And we've got these wonderful situations going on here with the boat. People sitting in the boat. That is so cool. I love the fact how you can trick the system. Oh god, it's so... Like, if you, for example, go like this and then zoom in, that just gives you that kind of realism vibe. I mean, I would love to see these things like actually being a thing, you know. These kind of boats would be such a fun boat ride. But yeah, I get why you wouldn't at this point, because we've got so many rides and hopefully in the future there are more coming. But yeah, such a kind of more classical kind of ride would be something I would absolutely adore in this game. I mean, I haven't really shown off the fences yet, by the way, but I also am a big fan of my new fences I used in here. Also, kind of looks hilarious with that little, almost like duck-like. I mean, it's the duck, you know, but it's like really duck-like behavior of it diving for some fish. And funnily enough, they do have some fish in their mouth in these open waters as well. Like, they don't only have that with the feeders, they only also go for them. I'm not sure if that adds to their hunger need, you know, but also, as you can see, this is the updated shader, so that they actually look wet in the water, you should say. That's definitely what it is. Also, I forget to, you know, always like how much better Jurassic World Evolution 3 looks, also in terms of the dinosaur quality. Just sometimes I forgot, like, yeah, the second one looked the same, but when you go back then, actually, it doesn't. It does definitely not look the same. So yeah, I briefly touched upon all the changes of the new update and the DLC in the voiceover anyways, but I'm gonna make like a dedicated video. Maybe not today, maybe these days. Again, I'm super short on time, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, I went a little bit above and beyond again. I wanted to make that way shorter, ended up doing something crazy again, but hey, here we are, that's what we do. So, there are the babies. Wait, hold on. Are they? Are they ready? Oh, in 218. We're gonna make this there. But let's have a look at the fences real quick because I like them quite a bit. So this one is kind of a changed one. I'm not sure if I left this in the time lapse, but this is a altered version of the normal fence, which I'm a big fan of. The kind of mixture of the new DLC items and the classic items. And then we've got these walls with some little windows to peek through, mainly made so that this area here on the right hand side is going to be thematically separated from the glades, which should definitely have that central area coming through. And just ever so slightly, now people are coming to walk this way. It's a bit of a thing, you know. I am trying to get more and more guests in, but we only have like 2.7 thousand in. Like, that is not really a lot of people. I assume I have to place down a lot of hotels, I guess, to really get a lot of people in. I wish the game would be even more, you know, crazy about guest numbers, because at the moment it's relatively empty, you know, given the fact that we have quite some animals. This one over here I have to also, by the way, at some point go and make sure to get some animals sold, because they had so many babies in here, so many babies with so many weird little patterns. Very cool to look at, but it's actually it almost has like Jurassic World Rebirth vibes, where these I don't know, 800,000 Pterodactyls were in that one valley. Like, this is that, you know, this is what we have over here. Okay, just kidding, but this is the way it goes. So let's have a look. Are you guys ready? In about a minute, so let's speed up real quick so that goes faster. I want to see the babies as like a last little bit we're doing, and then we can check if we can also find some other stuff in here too, because there's also some other stuff in the nest. Yeah, that's good. Look, there's a lot of more life in here. So let's have a look. A couple seconds. So let's go slow, and then we will be able to see hopefully that. Let's see. Austroraptor. Let's make it. Where are you guys? Where are you guys? I can see the eggs. Hello. Are you here? Not that they just appear somewhere off the camera all of a sudden. Oh, there they are. Look at them. Little chickens coming out of here. Little angry chickens, I should say. Ooh. Just like they have the same kind of pattern in a way, but this one has a bit of a nice little pattern like that. I do like that. Let's see if the Irritator also had a moment of privacy in between. No, it didn't. They didn't make their way. What about the ducky? Ducky. Oh, there you go. The duck seems to have done it. There you go. So let's have a look what kind of ducklings we can be seeing. The small ones haven't done. I think that's a medium. I would have needed a small one anyways. But yeah, so they are doing their job as well in here. While we're waiting for that, and I can show you a bit of the idea. So yeah, as you can see, this central area, I talked about that last episode. I want to maintain a certain open view to these areas, so this is why they meander their way through here, and you always get like a little peekaboo of what you should see in the distance. The Gary one, by the way, rest in peace, Mr. Frank Gary. What a coincidence that he just passed away a couple days after I released that build. That was a bit of an odd feeling, not gonna lie. But yeah, so here we go. A couple seconds left, so let's do that real quick. There's that mama waiting already. Yes, you're waiting for your babies, I assume. 2 seconds. There we can head in a play and have a look until they come out of that one. The little ducklings, which are not that little, to be frankly honest, because they're like immediately juvenile animals. I keep saying that like wrong, say babies, but like obviously they are not babies. In fact, when they come out of this, it's you know, they are juveniles, and there we have them, juvenile. Oh my god, look at that one. Ooh boy, that is a beauty. Hello, my beauty. Ooh, what kind of pattern is that? Oh, look at you. Oh, that is too cute, isn't it? That is too cute. Missing ground leaf. Yeah, I don't care. This is Amazon rainforest and rana pattern. Oh, you guys. You're gonna like each other right away. Brother and sister? Is that you? I think brother and brother. You're gonna brothers. Ooh, so nice. So nice, actually. Look at you little chickens. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, we've seen it all. Almost all babies. I think the Irritator is the only one we haven't seen. But yeah, hope you guys still like the series. I am a bit in love, I should say. I'm really in love with the series. You can see we made good progress here in our Jurassic Park 1998. This is where we are at right now. The T-Rex kingdom is built. We've got the Velociraptor here with the kitchen. We've got the Pyroraptor here. We've got wetlands. We've got the lagoons. And we will receive next episode. It's gonna be filling that gap in the middle. And it may actually take a little longer, I'm afraid, because I want to make a couple of more facilities going in as well. So my goal is to, well, yeah, you know, fill in that entire bit over here to really make progress finishing off this park in a way. I may try to end that park in early January about, I guess, because I assume that about-ish in March we are looking at the next DLC, so I want to be ready with the entire project. That's what I'm saying, in January. I know at the end of the day it takes 2 months longer, so that's the sole reason. But anyways, that's been it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel and you want to see more Jurassic builds and Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Evolution 3 kind of stuff, tutorials, builds, inspiration, make sure to sub the channel. I'll be continuing delivering on that one. I also have some more special builds planned that will be coming soon, so hopefully you guys are there. I can't wait. Until then, have a wonderful time. I talk to you then, and have a good one. Bye!